Oh, here we are on another Monday. I don't know if we're gonna finish this game. Like I feel like we could, but also sometimes this thing just surprises me, you know. So I'm kind of scared because like stream went okay yesterday, playing it, and only crashed after I finished, which was good. But that was a game that was not taking place on the same machine as the stream, so I don't know. This time it is. We'll see how it goes. Luckily, unlike with Beacon, this is not an action game that relies on like accurate inputs from whatever I do to the character. Like it's just reading. So hopefully, all of the use of my CPU GPU won't fucking have any effect on Streamlabs. I don't know. I reported it and Streamlabs was just like, do this, and I did like most of them. The only one I didn't do was like uninstall or reinstall the whole thing because I'm like, there's too much shit on here. I'm not gonna fucking do all that. But we'll see if the latest thing that I tried does or not. But like every time I've gone back to them, yes, I did this new thing. Also, here's the crash report from when it happened again. It's like every time I reply to them, I just give them a new crash report being like, by the way, here. I don't know what else to do with this information. But yeah, we're gonna explore that here. Disco Elysium Island, which is the last location that possibly somebody could have shot in the whirling, and looks like where somebody did shoot in the whirling. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna find. I don't know who did it. I don't know what it's gonna be. Like, we did do the thing where like, I don't know, like we did look at Cindy's feet before, but like in the beginning when we looked at her feet, we were looking for if she was like a car driver to see if the pedal would rub off her sole, but that wasn't it. But her feet are the same size as the thing, and she could be the person who was watching through or like being in the pinball background. That we don't know if that has anything to do with the shooter. That's the thing. So I don't know. But she's also disappeared at this point, which is interesting. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. It's weird. This is like one detective mystery, which I'm not sure if I could like figure it out without it telling me exactly what to do. So it's interesting. So we'll go see it. Let me start to turn off the music here. And turn on all the things from Disco. I think this was how high it was. I don't know. Here we go. Everything seems to be vaguely where I need it to be. I'm still floating again. Alright, well. What are we doing? That's not the right one. What is the rate? That's still here. Find the murder weapon. Yes. Determine where the shop came from. Yes. I don't know how we'll help Egghead with the beat. Offer figurines. Who knows? We did finish. Find the phasmid. Oh no, we did this already. That's fine. We don't need to do any of the rest of that. Or think about it. I guess. Let's stay on the ground floor first. See what we can see. These tires are falling apart. They're at least 50 years old. What the fuck was that? Can we not go further? I guess not. There's nowhere else we could go? Well. What? These stairs feel ancient. Soldiers' feet ran up them long ago. Huh. Got a couple things to look at over there. Let's look at this first. There's a lingering trace of mazut in the air. What's that? Attention, inflammable, which you'd think that it means it isn't flammable, but it means it can be inflamed. I don't know. Some fuel has leaked out of the barrel. Black, viscous. What is
The
it?
dry grass crackles under your feet as you stop. Far away, birds' wings touch the still surface of the sea.
What is that flutter?
The flock of quail departs, now more than 100 meters away. 102, 105.
Underneath the flutter?
On the islet,
There's
there
an
is
islet?
almost no wind under the rain, quietly falling on the reeds. Bulrushes swaying on the waterline, long dried leaves chafing against each other. The soft raindrops, like a silent orchestra tuning at the beginning of some major work, of great importance to the few who attend.
Okay, so now that I've leveled up, because I do remember looking up what some of these stats mean, I think I've leveled up all of the Shivers type stats because each color has their own Shivers type. And Perception is the one for yellow, and Conceptualization I think is the one for blue. I forget what's the one for purple. Okay, to the west.
A silent hiss, sea air moving through the needles of a pine tree.
To the east.
The faraway roar of the city, distant like today's dream. Before it, the sound of sand. The low tide filtered through its grains. A bird tending to its feathers. Raindrops fall on water, strangely quiet, forming circles in the distance.
Ahead.
A low hum. The air slowly moves through a concrete box, through its ancient slits and cracks, resonating, hollow. A big building.
Beyond that, further north.
Air flows out of a pillbox window. There is very little there. The air cossets flowers on a meadow. Absolute silence. Reeds motionless. Bulrushes motionless. A drop of rain falls on a black log of an extinguished campfire.
An extinguished campfire. Below the silence?
Called a Mamadakwa.
Oh.
We are way out now. Way out in the west. No, it's just your imagination. You can't hear such things.
Can we though? Kim.
Yes?
This is where a lesser man would stop to think about the pain shooting up his right leg and into his groin. Not you. You're concentrated on how.
Have you noticed how quiet it is?
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
Wait. I have to listen to one more thing.
The lieutenant nods in silence.
Okay, I guess that was just it, in case I didn't do anything else. Warm air from the inside of the building. It's warmer than there than out here. Barrel says, ICM. You see a star with little specks in it. Okay. Oop. Ooh, another door. This probably leads to that. The little birch from the coin-operated viewer. Still holding on. No way to get up there. The stairs are gone. Weird. Oh no, this is... We go this way. I think... Careful, these stairs have collapsed. Oh. Let's go this way. Okay, I guess I can only look at it from over there, geez. This was once an armament to rest. Okay. Books, mostly fantastique and historical fiction. Dishes stained with sauce and fire. A survivor's kitchen.
There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft-cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracol blanket.
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh, recently washed.
How recently?
You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak.
You know, officer, you can rest here if you are feeling tired. I will keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead.
No time to rest right now.
Yes, anytime. If you need a rest later, it's okay by me.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a hero.
I just want to finish poking around the room first. You see candles planted on a broken rangefinder. A moth-bitten bedsheet keeps the wind out. Huh.
Books and magazines lie scattered on the floor and on a makeshift cupboard. They are not particularly well organized.
Sift through them?
Most are soft covers, serialized fantastique and detective stories from the 20s and 30s. This disparate digest includes the classic Animal Adventures, among what is mostly commercial fiction and serialized stories. You find a magazine cathodique for electrical engineering. Then it's back to pulp. Light erotica, an international thriller about circuit benders.
Circuit benders?
Someone's made themselves a home.
Is anything saying out as unusual? We'll see in a second. We'll put some conceptualization on. Unless... Oh, I'm already wearing it. Dang. Well, let's put on the communist hat. And see if that helps.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique
Well.
and detective stories. Animal adventure. Not that you can tell.
Well.
This is a digest of someone who's dead bored. Most of it is for entertainment purposes. Fittingly right next to the radiola on the floor.
Nothing? Nothing out of the ordinary?
Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. There's a nude mag. More than that, you can't say.
How many points do I have? 2. Well, I don't know if I want to spend on this one specifically. There might be other things here. Oh, can I pick up more clothes? Ooh. Fallen Arrower shirt. Oh, this is where the fallen shirt is. Is this a scarf? Ew. Empathy and composure. Surplus winter scarf. Yeah, like there's communist shit around here. You can see that. I'm surprised we can't look at that poster to be like, Okay, nice. We have a lot of magnesium. This great blastover must weigh over 10 tons. Rust peels off it. Did we look at this? I don't think we did.
An old cylindrical generator is nested above the ammo lift, with makeshift electrical wiring running out of its side and across the floor. The cables disappear into the wall to your right. The lieutenant puts his hand on the metal barrel, checking for warmth.
It's cold now, but someone has been maintaining it. The wiring has been repaired.
Where do these wires lead?
Downstairs, somewhere?
What kind of generator is this?
Liquid carbon. I would imagine it takes mazout.
Points to the fuel clamp on the side of the dynamo.
The kind that's favored by vagrants and fuel thieves. It's been a long winter, long and cold.
Yeah.
If anyone stayed here, they'd need a generator.
Tap on the side.
The hollow ring, the canister is empty. Dust falls from the generator and down into the ammo lift.
What does this mean? A generator here?
I don't know. I'm not a philosopher.
I mean, why is it here?
Someone with basic electrical skills has restored it in order to keep the room warm. Maybe it's the fire guy.
The wind
Maybe.
outside picks up suddenly, with a faint howl. Inside, it's warm.
Yeah, let's take a rest a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to have any real...
Greasy old spring mattress light.
The offer still...
The bed is quite inviting. All things. You
That's
face
nice.
the concrete wall. There's less light there, in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there. You didn't realize how tired you were. Your body is still nowhere near healed.
Curl up with your knees close to your chest.
The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour maybe. The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close. Until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening.
Wait, is it evening? It was already, like, just 1. How long was I fucking out? Shit, this made a thing happen. Where's Kim? Lieutenant is no longer here. Go outside to the beach. No, I didn't want to do this. Where's this? I'll run through. I don't think there's anything. Man, I can't believe I didn't think that that would like make things progress. I don't know. I need to trace some mazot. Yes, we got that.
The dry grass cracks.
What's that? Flutter.
On there is like a silent of great import, a silent.
I'll just go through all of this.
A low
Ahead.
near flood, a drop of rain. Cold. We are wet. No, it's
Yes?
this is where a less.
I have. Is that why we're stopping?
Sorry, let's move. Yeah. At least I know there's something else. It's warmer there than out here. I don't know if I got that last time. Okay. So it seems like we should probably look at everything before we sleep, because it looks like sleeping will do something. At least we can do things in vague order now.
An old lieutenant put.
It's cold now. Downstairs, liquid carbon. The kind that's fit.
If anyone is in a hollow ring,
I don't know. Someone who is...
the wind outside.
Okay.
Books and then
Sift through them.
Someone's made themselves a home.
Not that you
Nope.
can tell. Maybe it's a little old.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll do that. I'm okay with not necessarily getting that now because it's the same thing that literally just happened. Okay, we got this shit. Take that. Take that. Go look at this. See if we can open that.
You see a small metal door nested
Oh, we can.
inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional keyhole above the handle. It's very small.
It's on the other side.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open this?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
Looks at the door and then at its big brother and then at the lock.
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
Huh, you're right. We opened the big one. Do you see controls anywhere?
I think there's a console just southeast.
Hmm.
Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan.
Okay. We got plans. We looked at all of that. Careful, these stairs have collapsed. We gotta... Oh, we can't go... Wait, no, we're... Oh, I see. I want to run. I've heard that running doesn't really have an effect, but I just generally feel bad for Harry. Wait, what do we got? This is pain threshold. We kind of need the pain threshold at this point. So what is empathy? Fallen arrower shirt. This fallen training shirt has seen one wash too many. It retains its usual design, its unusual design, one sleeve short, the other long, but little of its original colors. A giant F swooshes across its chest, now in gray. What did it used to be? Like, all the fallen stuff is gray. I don't know. Army surplus winter scarf. Empathy, plight of the underclass. Composure sucks to be torn off. This towy old scarf itches when wrapped around the neck. It has humanitarian aid written all over it. Yet you know that thousands all over the Isla are suffering the same fate as you. The fate of uncomfortable army surplus scarves. What was this one? Sleeveless aim. Huh. Is that a thing? The blast door. Okay. This hatch is jammed shut.
Green paint flicks off the monoblock aluminium cabinet.
Aluminium.
There are rows of switches on the front panel, a frequency band, and even a keyboard.
Ring fingers
The
crossed
keys rattle
keyboard.
like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
What is this
The
then?
console of an anti-computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Could this open the blast door?
Possibly. Urgence, ouvert, allumé, radiodiffusé. It sounds like this device was used to control the electronics here. Maybe it still does.
This device was used to control the electronics in the room. It could open doors, control lights, function as a radio computer.
Push light interior.
Nothing happens.
Slide radio
The
dial.
dial slides under the glass, silently. You make out defunct stations on the UKV frequency. The words, Feld Insula, are written on the band.
Insular. This is an off-air radio computer, I believe, used for military communications.
Interesting. Emergency
We
open.
need to restore power before using this, officer.
Ah,
The generator, it didn't look like there was fuel in it.
that's true.
We should look around outside. There are barrels all over. Maybe one of them still has something in it.
Okay.
The boat engine.
Ah. Failing that we can, or we can get some from the boat engine?
But officer, then we would have to swim back to the mainland. Let's just look around, okay?
The
True.
console stands by.
Okay. Ooh, what's that? Huh. We have a lot of magnesium now. Wait, no, what was that? Give me that. No, what was the thought? Do the thought. Oh, why does it only appear? There we go. Water rushes below, far down below. Okay, well, that wasn't too much, but I do love to get those. A firing slit. You can't see inside. Can I see that from here? No. Okay. Well, we'll get there then. It must have been a direct hit to take out such a huge chunk. Yeah. Can we go over here? No. The distant sound of cargo ships. Signal horns echo on the water. Just trying to see what I can see, mostly. Where else could we go? What dat? When the winch is broken, Russ has eaten what remains of the chain. Wait, what?
A strange feeling, looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea. Leave it all and walk in with
Maybe.
a bottle in your hand.
A bottle in my hand?
Always.
Why?
Perhaps there's someone there, under the water, waiting for you, where it has always been. In front of the video rental, on the corner, at the crossing, smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal.
That's another good stream name, Smelling of Tutti Frutti and Betrayal.
Maybe you know it's going to hurt.
But it's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm, like the inside of her mouth.
Yes, please.
Oh fuck, yes. Go there in your head. It's been days since you thought about her. A week. No, we're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over.
Dad said no. Razor sight.
In the rain mirror of the bay, you see Martinez, reflected. Tall edifices of ruins reach into the water, like shimmering towers. And the shacks too. Pine trees and motor lorries, upside down. Islets and posts, like stepping stones, lead into the water in front of you. Go. Step in. It's been too long.
Shake my head. Gotta focus. Where else do we go? Oh, we can go here. Oh, wait. The pain in your pelvis makes you wince. Then you continue. Inside of the fortress, you can make out the console and the blast door. Wait. The depot that supplied this chain is long gone from the coast.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime.
Ah.
This looks like a good place to shoot from.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand name, Marjorie. There's a fuel stain on the cover, along with cigarette burns. And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts. The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Tio Moteri.
Tio Motiri, like the one we found at Land's End, remember?
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important.
Heh.
This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
Inspect the
There's
wall.
a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete first.
Quite old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other than the rain.
Look through the hole in the concrete. Can we see it?
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation. A tingling feeling in your stomach. A small piece of Martinez coastline opens up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar.
On the left?
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Gislain, 33A and 33B.
On the right?
The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. Rue de Saint-Gislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
And between the two?
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. You see a small fleck of white on the rooftop, the upstairs window of Clausia's room, in the rain, reflecting light.
And there it is.
Do you have a line of sight to the window?
More than that.
Kim, with a pair of binoculars, I would able to see inside the room.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure. I think we have it. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Better late than never.
Nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
You're right.
He looks north, over the fortification, then at the mattress. He's conflicted for a second. There's guilt there. It takes him a moment to rationalize it away.
Could the shooter still be here?
Where?
On this island.
He does not answer, just nods. With his back hunched, he looks around once more and says, he feels uncomfortable suddenly.
Yeah,
We should move now.
figured. Take the fuel canister. Weathered artillery map showing coordinates in the Bay of Revachol. An old medicine cabinet newly stocked with Duramine. Ooh, little. Ooh, okay. You get to take a little. You just have to be able to see it. I wonder if I've missed anything like that before, or previously. Oh, you feel eyes on your back. Someone's watching, but you can't say where. I mean, back here, somewhere. Guess I can't go. Something's gonna have to happen. I'll get back, and then somebody's there suddenly. Ugh.
This old cylindrical generator waits with its fuel cap open. Makeshift electrical wiring runs out of its side and across the floor.
Pour fuel into the tank.
The lieutenant assists you, holding the canister up to the fuel tank as you tilt. Dark brown, viscous fluid pours out, and the room fills with a chemical smell. There's a red starter switch on the side of the cylinder and a start rope on the other side. The lieutenant flicks the switch. The recoil start wakes the old generator up. The machine sputters like an old warhorse before settling down to a rattle.
That should do it.
Okay. Okay, so you know what? I will... Okay, we have like 3 skill points now, so let's put some into fucking conceptualization. And we'll see. I'm gonna save. And we will do 2 things. I will try to do the conceptualization check.
Soft covers, serialized fantastique, and detective story. Oh yes,
There you go.
under the bed, there is a rather extensive collection of critical theory.
Huh.
That is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's
Ouzia.
not exactly like reading.
Look, Kim. Powerful communist theory. Rigorous and truthful.
Ooh, yeah. I agree. Humanitarian sciences. It stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West.
Your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him.
I think he's used to my communist shit already.
It's making a strong comeback. After all,
Kids dig this stuff. There is plenty of it in the students' room at the apartment building.
That one student did have some, yes. It's still out of the ordinary.
the little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous entertainment covering them.
Critical theory books. What do you think this means?
Again, I am not a philosopher, but whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Interesting.
Well. Well, we can save that. Okay, let's try.
There's a greasy old
Someone has been squatting here. The linen is fresh.
Do you think whoever sleep chair is?
You know, officer, you can rest here.
Yeah,
if you feel
we'll
tired.
get a little shut eye. We'll see what this does.
There's less light there in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there. You didn't realize the blanket. You feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to sleep.
Sleep. Yeah, the fact that, like, all the HUD goes away. Lieutenant is no longer here. Go outside to the beach. The question is, like, which part of the beach? Because, like, at first, when we originally did this, I was like, maybe he's, like... Oh, no, I guess I have to be down at that beach. We'll see how it does. Wait. What is? Door still here, closed. Feels strange somehow. You can't get in. Huh. I wonder if this is, like, a bad ending. I'm kind of scared. Where is my Kim? I don't like this music. Down to the chain, there's something there. Now do it. Walk into the water. Oh, am I dreaming? You see her footprints on the water. Huh.
Dolores
Oh, shit.
Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state turns around to face you. She has an airship airbag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Okay, don't say you need to talk right away. Melt the ice first. This way you're already talking. But you don't even want to talk to her. She would only be cold and mean. Let her go.
Hey.
Hey,
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. Well, how are you doing, Harry?
I'm not doing very well.
Don't say that. I know this positive thing sounds stupid to you, Harry, but it works. We all have an obligation to be happy. You too. And you will be. Now,
This is everything I always warned you about.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there, in Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
Something's off.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
Sophomore sentence class to right, then at the bag.
She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions.
You don't have time to tend to my emotions?
She sighs and looks over her shoulder. What are you doing? Stop saying things like that.
What's in the bag?
Just my scepter, my globe crucigere, a spare silk gown, a toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality.
Aren't you already wearing one?
Oh, this. This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium.
Jesus.
It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
It's just kind of in your bag there, huh?
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say. Then, over her shoulder, silence. Her nuptial gown flows in the wind, wraps around her holy body.
Anyway,
Can you stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one massive epic showdown.
no, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really, we don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us, our love, our unborn daughters, it's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh God, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try now.
I get the feeling you're not really Dolores Day.
I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day?
You're the ex something.
Wasn't I Dolores Day just a second ago? Now I'm the X thing? You're confusing me. Look, I have to be at the Lausanne aerodrome at 10:20 p.m. I still have a light rail to catch. I haven't even bought the tickets yet.
We all told you. Everyone warned you.
Who, everyone?
Everyone. Literally all of you.
I'm glad we're having this conversation. I'm getting so much closure.
I'm glad too, but I have to go. My friends are waiting for me on the platform. I can't let them wait. It's impolite.
Cool. Your friends. Say hi to your friends for me then.
I will.
1,000 times you beat an animal. 1,000 times you've raised that fabric. What is underneath has always calmed you, centered you, made you sane. In your mind, you could still climb inside her bed. Still the only man.
You're the morning.
The morning? I don't understand.
No, I meant mourning. I'm grieving. But you're not even dead.
Oh my god, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still alive.
Who the
Any
fuck is
of
this?
that. I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to mourn.
What? People who are 32 mourn all the time. What the fuck? Who is this?
Is a bit much for me. It feels like your ribs are cracking around your heart.
It's so hurtful.
Then why are we doing it?
I second that. You're Dolores Day, Queen Regnant of the territories of Mundi and Isolinde, and nothing else.
Yes, Harry. I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I am the ruler of the known world. Oh God, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry.
A tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrists.
I know you still love me. Will that go? Will it work, though? At least kiss goodbye, maybe.
With your feet trembling from the steps you took, tepid and fearful, you stand against her, her body close to you, radiating warmth. With your eyes closed, you move your lips on her mouth. She is not kissing you back.
I succeeded. I feel her breath hold her cheek against mine. Cold silver. You're not kissing me back.
The moment is ending. She is going to move her face away from yours.
So it goes.
Trying hard not to look at you. When she withdrew and you held on to her hand, she tried not to look at your face and see the expression there. Brother, you should put me in front of a firing squad. I have no words for how I failed you.
That's it then.
No, Harry. Not yet. There is one more thing you have to see. I'm pregnant.
It's not mine.
Of course not.
Great.
I terminated yours.
Oh.
Don't you remember? You poor fuck. Poverty-stricken fuck.
Why is this so mean?
Now, go ahead. Ask me more questions. Let's talk about something else.
No, this has to end. Do the last one. More questions. Ask more.
It's not a very good way for things to be. What does that mean?
It's not.
But what? Tell me there's something good.
I don't know why I said but. There is no but.
That's it?
That's it, yes. We've talked about it a million times. You will get over it, just like I did. People do. Things will get good for you again.
Honestly, that is something that she's probably just telling herself so she doesn't have to think about you, because clearly it didn't really.
Where in hell? Stop. You're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything.
I'm not getting over it at all.
It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe?
Wow, just saying that.
It was hard for me too, you know? I used to think I couldn't live without you.
Looks you straight in the eye. Irises are light blue, flecked with green.
But I can.
She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight. But it's clear you're still making her sad. It's not. It's just not possible. It's like eating rocks. You just can't do it.
So you felt that way once? That you can't live without me?
Yes. But that time is gone now. So very gone.
20 years. That's so much time.
Yes. It only took me 1 year, maybe 2. Phew.
Wow. With all my strength, I can't. It's like eating rocks.
There is a silence. She looks at you, then over her shoulder, then corrects the wreath on the dome of her forehead. As you talk, it feels like chewing on gravel, granite, steel bars.
Doesn't have to be like this. Maybe we could try again.
No, Harry. We can't.
Why?
We already tried again, and it didn't work.
Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice and then give up. By that logic.
I mean, kinda.
not
Depends.
she too.
What went wrong when we tried again? I could do it better.
I don't know. Please.
Why? Why can't we be together?
Harry, we can't be together because you're insane.
Am I actually insane?
She avoids turning them to you.
Insane how?
They're turning moist now. Her eyes. She slowly shakes her head and tries to get hold of herself, brushing her hands in her gown.
What do you mean by insane?
You know what I mean.
Everyone gets a little
A
down.
little down. You've worked there for so long, you can't even talk like a normal person anymore. It's always lists with you.
They're not lists.
Questions.
They're not lists, they're
This is
trees.
another one, isn't it? We're in a tree right now.
Lists are absolutely normal. Everyone has them. You just list everything you want to ask.
In descending order, usually. It's best to do them like that.
It's not just the lists or trees or whatever. You get sad, Harry. Too sad. People can't get that sad. It's impossible to watch.
Did she
Other
actually
people
say this
get
stuff?
Sad too, but not like you. You stay down for years, and then you start beating things. You get violent.
Okay, that is a real problem.
In conclusion, you're ill. You're an old, insane man. And you have to be in hell until the end of your life. And I have to go to Morova.
I really hope she didn't literally say some of these things. But you said I have a vast soul and you'll always come back to it.
We both said a lot of things. We were very young.
It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things.
No, you didn't say it. You wrote it in a letter, in a handwritten letter. Kept it in my paperwork.
As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters.
You need to recite it to her, for effect. All of it. No summaries.
No, that seems kind of lame, to be honest.
Put a stake through your heart. She'll get hurt too. Collateral damage.
You know what I mean. You left me a letter saying you'll always come back to me, that you can't believe how happy you are with me.
Okay, Harry. Okay. It was morning and you slept. The room smelled of cigarettes and Rowans. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left. It was autumn, the first one we had together. But you have to understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I am no longer that person. This has taken her place. It will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind.
What is she talking about?
The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure, cut in black, moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips.
Voyager Road. I know that place. Where is it?
It's here, Harry. We are on Voyager Road. At the end of it, 300 meters from the stop. We used to come here to rent videos.
The house.
There, you could not pay the electrical bill. It became a lightless tomb. The years you spent training for the militia, my parents' money, it was not good.
Surely the alcohol didn't help either.
Were we drinking?
Everyone has a little glass of wine every now and then. I certainly do. It's a Queen Regnant thing. I don't think it was the alcohol. It was inevitability.
See, if you drank with her, you'd be cool again. If you drank with her, you could have sex on alcohol.
What now? What happens now? What is the next thing we talk about?
Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we have already talked about. Talk about it again. If you do not feel like doing that, you should let me go to the aerodrome.
Don't go.
I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. I'm gonna go now.
You don't want me to let you go? Not really. You asked me not to. Where's my list? What is there to do in Morova anyway?
Light, life, culture. It's so much better than here. Everything here reminds me of you and the horrible times we had. The nights we stayed up fighting for our dying love. I have to wipe it all off me and be clean again. I want to be a good person again. Not this. Not what you made me into.
Sure. Whatever.
No, you don't. You're just being a martyr. And I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight.
Will we ever see each other again?
I won't see you, but you will see me.
How can that be?
Oh, Harry. This is a dream. Can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? A year? 2? 5 years ago?
How will I see you again, then?
Right here, tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. There's the video rental. I'm suffocatingly beautiful. And young. And I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum. Like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you the first time. So long ago.
But this is intolerably bad.
Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death, or war, or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow.
So, like, technically this kind of means that she doesn't actually have to go to the thing, because she's just going to be here again. Yeah, that is one of the most depressing things we've ever experienced.
You're up quick. How was your sleep?
Try to cover the bloodstream evidence. Actually, it was total annihilation, Kim.
I did not want to wake you. Perhaps I should have? Was it a job dream?
No, an ex-wife dream.
The lieutenant nods solemnly. I understand. We've all been through similar things. It can be overcome.
Let's comb the entire island, centimeter by centimeter. No, nah. My sleep was deep and invigorating.
Of course. I was just thinking maybe you've torn your stitches. Are you ready to move on?
Spit out the blood and get back to work. Yeah.
Okay.
He's still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep.
It's like we just made it worse.
This old cylindrical...
Okay.
A dim golden glow animates the console. Faint, like a ghost light.
It's on. Turn emergency open.
Automatic boot.
Let's try to do other things.
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle. A dim ambient orange.
Okay. Radio dial.
The dial slides under the dusty glass. Dark and...
Insular. This is an off-air radio
Okay.
computer, I believe. Used
The blast
We'll do
door
that one.
opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Hmm. Big door.
A sudden wave of anxiety makes your skin crawl.
after you.
What's there?
I don't know.
A thin wisp of smoke rises from a charred black fire pit. The wind picks up, then dies down again.
I'm scared.
Don't be. I have a gun.
Before, outside, when we were walking across the sand, I felt someone watching me.
So did I. Not back there, but I felt it since we came here.
I also have a gun.
I know. It was not easy to acquire.
Let's go. I'm kind of wondering if there's anything, like, more visible now that the lights are on. But I guess not. Yeah, let's just go. Walk slow. Might be dangerous. Well, okay. Okay, well, we got that first point of interest. What? Small white flowers blossom all around you. A rubber dinghy. It's deflated. Broken. Oh. There's a man here. Guess we can't go any further.
An old man wearing
The deserter.
tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle.
Is this the guy?
A big ball of spit in his mouth.
Is he the one that did the shooting in some kind of fucking PTSD fit where he thought he was back in the war and he was shooting somebody from the war and then there was actually no intention behind any of it? Christ.
Then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
Wow. Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that a Belle McGrave?
It's a 3-Angong 446.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
You're the fire guy?
The what now? I
Yeah.
can't hear you.
Did you recently tell two kids to put out their fire? Two twins?
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position. Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
'Cause he's 6. You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
A shudder of disgust passes his right side. His left side remains motionless.
Did you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
How did you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
That's true.
Told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
It was not rock and roll, it was Sad FM.
Sad FM, huh? I always hated that station. Phlegmatic, counter-revolutionary dirges. Sadness is a mental illness. A weapon of the bourgeoisie.
Hear that? Sadness isn't real.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate. Hip gyrating, mental illness music.
So the Sinyao commune?
You heard me. It's
Okay.
good now. Like chalk, white from the ball.
Well. Please, you can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move. Put down the gun. Yeah. I'm the police. You can keep the gun, but keep it down. Not one move.
No.
Oh, okay.
Put it down now, sir.
Or you're gonna blow my brains out before you question me. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
Well, okay.
Like an amputated limb in the sand, he stares on, his wrinkled mouth moving without a sound. A strange sadness, like a song.
What'd you say?
The future teaches you to be alone.
The present.
The
The
present.
present to be afraid and cold.
Pick up the gun.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stopped and patched in places with tape and wire.
Inspect it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that's seen too much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burnt into the wood. Triangong, 4.46mm, made in Sinyao.
Says it. He says it said. A Triangong made in Sinyao.
No one said it has to be a Belma grave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a Triangong, too.
Nice.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
Yep.
The right
Four
type,
by four
the right
six.
calibre.
He's liking this.
Stow the
The
gun.
old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Those words. The future teaches you.
Real music. Real Brilliant Cult. That's La Revacholière, not your rock and roll misanthropy. Chanson de soldat of the black and whites.
I'm not a misanthrope. I'm just a half-dead police officer just doing his job.
Job of a shitlicker.
What's La Richelieu?
It is the anthem of the world revolution. One of three. In Grad, they sang brave children, favorites of history. And in Sinyao, it was some Samaran shit, I guess.
How's it go, the song?
How did it go? Something about shooting rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. It's gone now.
I feel like this is the same voice actor as, like, the reptilian brain.
He waves erratically with his hand, annoyed that he can't remember. A little tremor passes through him. It was dear to him. He resents forgetting it.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The commune of Revachol? Do you mean the ICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08.
Almost 40 years ago.
I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Oh, more than 43. You've been on this island for 43 years.
No. I've been on other islands too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was 22 years ago.
Again, you've been hiding here for 43 years.
43 years and 10 months.
That's steadfast.
It's not how a human being should live. But I had to. I couldn't just forget. I couldn't just forget what I saw.
He just couldn't.
You couldn't give up?
He nods. But he can now.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, Waiting.
Where the afternoon grows late, on Rue de Saint-Ghislain, people walk home. Street lights will soon be lit. Further inland, the streets are alive with workers, men, women, children, street hawks and migrant laborers. The temperature is steady. Alto cumulus clouds form above Precinct 41. Two police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Maire inspects a series of burnt black letters splashed across the plaza mosaic. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smoldering. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
The old man turns his eyes from the shore and back to you. For what?
For her to return.
Ah,
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution.
girl child revolution. That sounds like it would be a pop band.
Always.
I dare not dream anymore.
Good. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind and themselves. The historic opportunity for our revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
You said you deserted your unit?
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
So you used up literally all of your prime just on this island. God damn. Lapse of faith.
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took
For what?
for reaction to take hold.
Yes, we all have a tiny bourgeois person in us trying to run away.
He does not seemingly react to what you said. Only his right brow moves a little. He does not believe a police officer is genuinely revolutionary.
And this was when?
The lieutenant simply looks at his notebook.
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds, storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
What then?
I ran. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland. In the bunkers underground, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened of the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
What was that?
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too, shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels, or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Some kind of great terror. Worse than you've ever seen.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love, all the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know
What?
that the bourgeois are not human.
I've always expected the same.
Now is not the time, Lieutenant Jeffreto.
I had to. I had to fight it. I could not stop anymore.
The old man falls silent. His black eyes keep piercing your skin as he looks to some great distance behind you, shaking his head slowly, retreating from it. What is this place, this island?
It's not an island, Dwight. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used for?
The congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
You mean the landing? We're taking of Reshal?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
Murderers, I guess.
You don't know. You haven't seen it. Iblis,
Iblis?
the black-eyed angel.
How have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal
Now
Yeah.
hold on there.
What do you steal?
supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
The RCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
We also have Druamine.
We also have Dramine and other opioid-based painkillers. How have you coped mentally?
I haven't.
Yeah.
I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
You know, the lieutenant's about to say something.
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult, mentally, to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone.
No.
I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins, glimmering in the dark, like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the Thames. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How'd you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted.
Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
The weapons cache under Sanchez on 22B. In the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Belmer graves, right?
They were.
Useless now. Rusted away.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
No.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
Killed themselves.
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
One more question. Do you smoke Tiomatu cigarettes?
I do.
Ever smoke them on the mainland?
They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
Tell me another thing.
The old man looks across the water at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it.
You said this is your term of surrender.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol.
We're with the RCM. Let's leave it at that.
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, le Parti Communiste dans ce monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
You never signed the Revolutionary Instrument of Surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
he just wipes the blood from his chin.
Honorable.
Honor is a feudal atavism. My motive is class.
So you're a communist soldier from the Communist Army.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
But you said you were trained in Science of the Defense Corps.
Trained in historical materialism, then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
What does that even do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a night philosopher of the revolution, a future human.
He was like a cleric, a shepherd.
Really now?
Okay then, over-mystified that a bit.
That means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly, then another tremor.
Listen, I might as well. I'm also a communist.
No, you're not. liberast.
Liberist?
A liberal and a pederast.
Uh,
It's what most liberals are.
I'm not a liberal. I told you I'm a communist.
Detective, we have not come here to discuss ideology. We have come to ask questions regarding a murder investigation.
The old man spits into the fire pit. He does not say anything more. A jitter passes his lower body. There's definitely something off with his body. Something more than just metabolism.
I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world.
Hmm.
It's a farce.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Here we go. A trail of blood. The lieutenant smells it too.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for.
It's true.
You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. Okay. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first.
So many ideas.
Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
I know you want to tell me. Have you killed anyone with... let's see. Careful. Okay, one says careful, one says going straight. Don't mess this up, wants to tell you. Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel? It's a security contractor colonel. I don't know if he knows that. Wait, so which one do I say then?
Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eyes look at you, and in them a chill, like electricity running up your spine, crawling into your skull.
What?
All is not as it seems.
Detective.
All is not as it seems. So maybe he has killed somebody, but it's not what who we're looking for. Did you use that gun? No, let's just search.
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it. You're in.
The fascist death squad who took a bullet in the mouth on the night of March 4th.
Oh yes, that one. Ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
A drop of blood in the saliva.
Yeah.
Tear into him. Pile it on him. Everything you got on him. The more, the better. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember.
Come on, what am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
What? Oh, yes.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. And Maybells on Clausia's balcony.
Huh.
And nowhere else. Nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them.
Really?
Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Thank you, Head. Thank you.
You got it. Remember, the boot prints were like no modern soul. Maybe don't beat yourself anymore, though. You're not immortal.
Maybells behind the victim's window. I saw them going here.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
I haven't seen these flowers anywhere else in Martinez. Only here.
They blossom on the islets before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it.
South, the Bay of Martinez is dotted with little freckles of islets, turning green, with white flowers in white snow.
The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
A young woman called Claudia. Ring any bells? Flowers like these were behind her window.
Classier.
You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Almost. But you need one more. Just one. Or maybe two.
I wonder what brand of boots you're wearing.
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa. Some shit.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Dras.
Fucking imbecile.
Black and white spiral pattern cover the sole of the worn-out shoes.
The maker is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal patterned soles you saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
Huh.
The size fits, but not the sole.
Drama. Right, compared to the shoes we got you without the prints too. I should have saved. But it's easy.
So,
Oh.
he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
People change shoes. Doesn't mean you weren't there, near the room the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silent suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance. More. He's gonna crack. But you need a little more.
We've done the ballistics.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You have been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long. You need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
The view is perfect. With a pair of binoculars, I could have seen it in the room.
Because it's a sniper's nest, you stupid fuck. Radio Gosh is right. You have worms in your brain.
Leave no stone unturned. Get him on what matters most.
See if I can come back later.
You're lost, Dwat. You're lost.
Hold on.
I ain't going any.
What was it? Composure? Bolt action 4.46 caliber Trinian Gong is a poor man's sniper rifle. While not the most reliable of firearms, it is relatively precise due to very manageable recoil, thus allowing the shooter to make multiple consecutive shots. Is that how you spell consecutive? No. This particular piece is missing a scope, though. Interesting. The wooden frame. What is it?
Minions of cat.
Yeah, it's composure. Well, let's first just level up the composure. And now let's put on some composure clothes. I don't know if I have anything. Well, let's first make sure I don't have anything taking it down. Perception. Not really. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I'm wearing whatever for the most part. I'm pretty sure I had composure stuff. think they're, yeah, the composure pants at least. What did I look at? Logic. So many things. Composure jacket. Composure shoes. I think there was one more thing, I think. That's -1 composure. You know what, I was probably thinking about that. What do I got going on? Let's have some logic. Let's put on the communism hat for no reason. What do I have here? Pain threshold. I'm not gonna do that one. I don't think that'll help me. Conceptualization shirt. We do the +1 pain threshold probably. Right. A lot of these shirts lose us empathy. Authority, drama, physical instrument. It's hand-eye coordination. I think everything else is kind of important for what it is. I have like such little authority. Let's try to... Times are most dire. No. We'll just have the fucking crowbar. Yeah. And don't have like -3 authority. What?
Honorable one, you have accumulated a substantial amount of honor points on your life path. You are a man most virtuous.
Wait, there are honor points?
Of course there were honor points. Did you think no one was paying attention to all of your honorable deeds? Honorable one.
Only try my best. This is the most any of us can do.
Oh, the modesty on this one. Another 10 honor points for you, sir.
Oh.
You are on the fast track to becoming one of the rarest, most revered of all police officers. An honor cop.
Isn't honor sort of an archaic concept?
Living in the name of virtue and doing noble deeds while expecting nothing in return is not archaic. How can you even think that?
Huh.
Selflessness forms the basis for the warrior code. An ageless code. As fit for nomadic Ilmaran tribes traversing the vast red plateau in Provincia Gold, as it is for your neighborhood postman.
Kind of sounds arrogant, like a secret self-regard.
No, no, no. You see, you're putting the needs of others above yours. You get nothing in return, not even praise. You always get the short, noble end of the stick.
Huh.
Don't think about it too much. Just say it. Are you ready to get knee-deep in honor?
Sure.
Yes, your deeds are spoken for you, honorable one. But to fully drape oneself in an eternal cloak of honor, a ritual must be completed. A rite of honor. Even among the honorable, only the most dignified are deemed worthy. But you, O honorable one, have excelled in honor.
Honor doesn't feel like a real word anymore.
Honor comes from deep within you, and to truly know oneself, to know one's honor, one must reach deep within oneself and touch one's honor.
Okay.
You need to bring the thumb of your right hand, your sword hand, to your rectum and stick it in there to form the Arch of Honors.
You crazy think I'm just gonna stick a finger in my ass right now.
Most dishonorable are those who have known honor, carried honor in their hearts, and then disowned honor. They are the honor fallen. You brought much shame on your family today. Your name will forever be tarnished by this most shameful of deeds. Be forever banished, shameful one.
Yeah, that's too dumb for this moment. Maybe if I was elsewhere, but not right now. We'll just do new save. Why not? Okay, let's see what we can see.
Minions of capital. What do you want?
More than poor health here.
For a 60-year-old man,
Shit. We'll try talking a little bit first. Hello.
Minions of capital. What
One
do
more.
you want?
One more time, Mr. Dross the Colonel. We need to talk about you killing him.
Petty bourgeois law. This is all you care about, right? The only thing in the world for you types.
a drop of blood in the saliva. Tear into him again. Pile it on him.
I don't need your cooperation. I've got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your little musketeer pistols. I've seen you prance around with those. Jumping hoops for the liberals.
He's like just opposite Renee, man. Just like nothing you say. He's just such a grump.
You look
But
like
he did see
imbeciles.
his.
Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
He did see all his comrades get bombed to death.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen.
Well,
So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
stop changing the subject. We have the murder weapon.
You know what? You're right. I'm convinced this made the shot. Should we call it?
Do you think we have the murder weapon?
4.46 jacketed ammunition, modified for range. We have it. This is it.
I'm calling it. We have the murder weapon.
This feels good, doesn't it? Tearing things up like this. When you have the murder weapon, you have the killer.
Murder.
Like a marionette on some invisible string.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
He was a killer, but still under the protection. No, he's a soldier too. He was a man.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner. Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling, while the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Your breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase. And I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death. And that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white. Or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at Dan, the victim and a young woman, having sex? Through the scope of your rifle that night? Before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from.
I was wondering that.
You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
Helps him see all the shit.
And if you don't like it,
If it's part of the shit you see.
then you pull the trigger?
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
That's not great. Nope.
You've got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift. Start with when he first saw him. It will give him a chance to ramble.
Fuck.
For a 60-year-old man with stomach trouble, he's prone to erratic hand gestures and clearly malnourished. But that's it.
Oh my god. Oh, I have so many. Because I leveled up like twice. Let's just keep trying to scum this and putting points in things.
Millions of capital.
There we go.
What strikes you about this gaunt man is not the stomach pain, or the cough, or the malnutrition. It's precisely what you could not see before. For a man who spent 44 years in the urban wild.
He is surprisingly okay.
Indeed, he speaks fluidly. His movements are rapid, if erratic. His voice, despite the cough, is there. It is capable of expressing complicated ideas. Above all, he seems animated.
Animated? By what?
It's a mystery. This animation comes at a cost too. Erratic hand gestures, thought processes cut off like threads, as he just stares at the logs or the reeds. He also suffers mood swings, bubbling to the surface, unconstrained by his nervous system. Great leaps of emotion, from anger to grief, despair.
Dementia?
You've seen demented people before. This feels similar, yet different. When his thoughts move, they are lucid, keen even, not senile. Is it some kind of substance damage? Like he's addicted to something? Not only the painkillers he's clearly on.
Wouldn't a foul temper be a byproduct of his life?
Perhaps, but his seems more than that. The inner turmoil takes unexpected turns, as if forced on him in a way. In summary, you sense some underlying neurological disorder.
Mr. Dross, are you on some kind of a psychoactive substance?
No. I won't be stuffed full of shit like the rest of this city.
It's not a downer, rather an upper, judging by his snaps.
Are you on amphetamines?
Like some kind of decadent rock star.
Doesn't dignify him. Mr. Dross, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I shit blood, and I'm surrounded by insane people.
There it is again. Erratic hand motions, bouts of rage, and the stomach thing too, of course. Could it be a symptom of overdosing on something? Something even you have not tried? Keep your eyes peeled.
Been looking at anything else you haven't liked?
A tragic comedy. Druggies, prostitutes, and rentiers.
A strange little engine seems to fire up in him again. It straightens his back. Detest pushes the cobwebs out of his eyes. Pushes the melancholy aside. He relishes it.
More specifically?
Specifically, the whole city is a charnel house. Stripped clean and draped in neon. But Martinez is the worst.
How come?
Because of the racists.
Yeah.
Everyone is a racist in Martinez. It's their favorite thing to do in the whole world. Listening to race-themed radio shows. In the ruins, in their lorries. Pumped full of steroids and Radio Revachol 92. Race this, race that. It's all sanctioned by that Social Democratic Union and the farce of a Social Democrat who runs it.
Mr. Clare?
Yes, the fly larva in his container. He let some nihilistic advertising yuppies erect a statue of Philippe III. a syphilitic murderer on the town square to spit on the working class.
Anything? No, then let's just let him.
Not since the serfs of ancient Pericarnassus has history produced a more inert social class than the Martinez proletariat. The rest of Revachol at least pretends to rebuild. These people still live in ruins. In tents, like animals. Like those boom morons on the ice. A pity they didn't drown in that tent of theirs.
Oh yeah, that could have happened, but I got him out because I didn't want him to die. This is like old man yells at cloud.
The worst of them is the blood-drenched Sucrion on her yacht, licking her lips. The old whore's gone now. Her gun-toting porcelain men are dead. So, actually, no. The worst is that old cock parading around in his uniform, throwing balls all day. It's not enough that the racists and liberals are dancing on our graves. The old loyalist ghouls still parade the ruins too.
I mean, he's dead now.
Every morning he's there, while the parasites he fought to protect are off in Lausanne, or Coyamoran, or some other island they built their palaces on, feeding on drugs and having sex with their own children. That's all the rich really want. Sex with their own children. Throughout history, even the royal bloodline of the suzerain, it's all just an excuse for them to have sordid sex. At least that old cunt Frisell is now dead.
Do we have questions about this? I'm just gonna keep.
We did good when we pushed him under that horse car. If only, in the 30s, those disco whores.
The disco whores are too much. Hatred shuts down his brain's language center, leaving only a nonsensical sputter.
You mentioned the Union is social democratic, and Mr. Clare is a farce of a social democrat.
Another hideous disappointment. Unions are the real enemy. The true enemy of the proletariat. Placating the masses.
Disappointment, so personal. He displays a familiarity with the Union's top brass.
Who's the disappointment, Everard Clare?
That deformed toad? I wouldn't expect him to wipe his own ass. I mean, the brains of the operation. The smart one.
Doesn't Everard run the Union?
That mobster toad couldn't run a shithouse. He has no political education. His twin, Edgar Clare, that one's been to one of those East Revachol universities. He talks a big game about uprising and alienation and so on.
It's true, we haven't seen Edgar at all.
He's been sweet-talked by this Edgar. They must have met in person for such animosity to have developed.
We're not the first people we've met from the city, are we?
You can't live alone.
The Clares wouldn't miss a man hidden in their own backyard. Not all this time. Nothing happens in Martinez without them knowing.
Of course, maybe the Clears asked him to. Don't go straight for the kill. Exhaust everything else first. Soften him.
Have you approached them?
I haven't approached anyone. I hid. It was Edgar who came to me.
How did he know you were here?
He didn't just stumble in like an oaf. He figured it out. Some kids told him about a monster on the island. I told you, he has brains. Stepped right off the boat and walked down where you came. I even kept the door open for him. Thought he was a man of the left. Wouldn't rat me out. I was right about one of those things.
When was this?
20 years ago. Neither of them could walk now, could they? They were less fat then.
That's around the time the Clears came to power.
What did you talk about?
Edgar did the talking. Paid his respects like I were a fossil in a uniform. Offered platitudes about the struggle. Flaunted his pink degree. Even quoted Marzoff. Never trust a social democrat who quotes Marzoff. Oh, and charity too. They love their charity. Offered me blankets and social housing. I still have the gas cooker he brought.
And did he let you be here?
Let me be here. The ZOC is an unlawful successor of the Commune of Revachol. We took this fortification from the Loyalists. Even the Clares understand this.
They let him be here. Understanding was a courtesy. But why such a courtesy?
Mr. Dross, did you kill the Krenel mercenary for the Clares to incite a riot?
I'm not doing anything for that swine again.
Again?
Again? What have you done for Edgar before?
Tried teaching him some Marzovian socioeconomics. They didn't stick. We parted ways.
Okay, he didn't do the hang the man for them. But he's insinuating something. The connection comes to you like a splash of cold water. Dark, cold water.
20 years ago, when you met Edgar, the Clares didn't run the Union yet, did they?
He acknowledges it. Here we go. A twist behind the dark bend.
Who did?
That bourgeois cow. Tiffin Holly was her name. Licked the rich man's hand every time he came to town. Never seen a labor leader so hot on mutual cooperation. And money. She liked that too. That Holly was a real bridge builder and a deal maker.
Bordering on sentimentality, it drips out of him. Tempered by something familiar to you. A familiar rage.
And she was also a woman, wasn't she?
She was. And she was real soft on those money men. Had a Barbara Muscova bag over her shoulder that she liked to bring to work.
And then she just disappeared?
Called in, they say. On the eve of battle. Ran away. Vanished like a piss stain.
No, that's not quite it, is it?
Did she? They say her daughter called in, not her personally. But that wasn't really her daughter, was it?
No, I guess it was not.
Edgar had someone make that call. Why is that, Mr. Dross?
She couldn't make the call herself.
Here it is. The bend in the river.
Why?
Because she was dead.
Just say nothing.
The cow caught a bullet in her right lung. Fell into the canal grasping her tit and drowned. Or bled? Hard to say. It was a sloppy job. And a moving target.
Well,
She was going home. Waddling. Dressed in yellow. Drunk like she often was. The ruins were black around her. And she had a yellow leather bag under her arm. She tried to cross the canal.
oh, we felt that in like Shivers or something before.
Heading home to Grand Couronne or Betancourt. Someplace like that. Where they build those new bâtiments for the people who flourish in the hell around her. And the ruins.
You shot her.
Someone shot her. Or maybe the cow just fell. My memory is full of holes. All I know is...
Another big spike of rage. Different from the one he has for her.
nothing changed. Not in the material base, not in the hegemony. There was no uprising. Just words. The Union fizzled, sogged. Nothing came of it. Nothing.
Edgar didn't keep his part of the deal. If you were to testify to this, give the RCM something on Edgar, you could walk. We would strike everything you've done and process you as a POW. You were in a war. You were on assignment. We could even extradite you to the Samaran People's Republic.
A degenerate worker state. Go shit. No, thank you. I'm a Revacholian. My days are short. I will rot away here, in a moral intern cell. I will not testify to anything.
But you did do it.
I saw it happen, and I liked it. That's all I have to say. I didn't live and fight for 40 years to end up as a collaborationist. I've heard it on Channel 8, 40 AM, Radio Revachol, late night. Everyone is a blobber in this world. Everyone betrays everyone. They're all already locked up for betrayal. The best ones, the ones with heart, were slaughtered, trampled.
The same old freezing hatred. There is plenty here to work with once he's in custody. And the lieutenant knows it. He gives you a little nod to proceed.
Disco horrors.
Horse.
Okay. By the cock braiding in his 12th uniform, you mean, Rene?
Every fucking morning for 34 years. Throwing that ball. One ball against the other. I've always loathed that game. That is not a working class game. I don't care what they say on Radio June. Royalist ghouls played like it was life itself. Click, clack across the water each day. And that uniform, like a parrot's plumage. I won't even mention that he's a traitor to his race. A patank maniac race traitor. I remember him. I remember him from Lanos. Not him personally, his make and model. There were tens of thousands of them. I thought we took them all out before the liberals came to their rescue. We missed one. That one. Fat and plump, like a pheasant, just begging to be popped off. Please, Mr. Dross, shoot me.
He whispers with such predatory hunger. It borders on longing.
You'd like to kill him?
Not yet. I like to look at him strut around, place the crosshair on his medals, right on his face, and just fiddle the trigger. Think about it. Let the bomb melt in my mouth.
Save the treat for later.
He is a juicy bonbon, that one. A real treat for the black day. The blackest. When I put that gun in my own mouth, I think, no, don't waste it. Put this lead in that cock, Rene. For the boys he killed. And then I look at him throw those balls, and I suddenly feel better. I even hid one bullet, so I'd always have one for him. Haven't seen him around lately, strutting around. Must be down with arthritis. I hope it hurts like hell. I hope he sweats blood.
Hearing it may destabilize him. You sure you've gotten everything from him?
Anyway, tell me something else, Mr. Dross.
Yes, of course. Must be passing a kidney stone. I hope it's excruciating. At least it keeps him from throwing his balls.
He seems relieved. Could he have been worried for him? He reminds him of himself. The same hatred. The same. You try to think of another thing, but no. It's just the hatred.
Yeah, it really is a hatred.
Glad. It's all gone.
When did you first see the deceased?
3 weeks ago, when the rich hag came in on her galley. Her honor guard came in tow.
Joyce. He means Joyce.
By that you mean Joyce Messier, the Wild Pines rep.
Wrinkled up whore.
Can't Moving on, the victim arrives sometime after her.
They moved into a deserted apartment above the roundabout. Radio equipment out for all to see. Reactionary radio playing. Sloppy and drunk. I've seen their kind during the landing. Those Occidental and messed phalanx weren't conscripts. Boys like us. They were whites. All they know is to destroy and hurt.
Whites? Like ghouls?
Barely alive. They like to kill while they're on their drugs. After the landing, in the burning years, I would take shots at them. End them. The worst ones, if I had a bullet to spare. I could see they've returned now to show their real face. The face they don't dare show their bourgeois voters back on Mundi with their families and polyester clothes.
What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
Them. Fucking. I didn't like that.
Okay, then.
Splat. A bloody spitball lands on the firewood.
Them.
So you're jealous.
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second. Writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
This man has seen past her, like you did. And now he longs to see her covered in blood. To punish her.
You wanted to punish her, so you killed him. Or how long have you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have her skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
Past the Fell building on a ghost. What was she doing there?
It's probably where when she was leaving her ID stuff.
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
And beautiful.
And beautiful.
That, too.
How could you see what she looked like? You said it was dark.
He has great eyes, apparently.
The sun came up. Her hair was like cobwebs. She smoked more fags and snorted a line of whatever shit she was on, right there. She needed it, just to move.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there, to Cachet Brut.
This is the hidden buoy she told us about. You looked into it?
After she was gone.
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
No. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I'd put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
Okay.
This implies that he's thought about extorting her.
That's true.
Also, a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Claudia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
Saw her name in the passport, but before when I said her name is Claudia, you didn't seem to recognize it.
You didn't say Claudia in there.
What did it say her name was in the passport?
It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning. I only remember her face on the photo.
Are you sure? We checked the submersible. There was nothing there.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
A strange confusion comes over him from time to time. Some kind of aberration of the nervous system.
Moving on. Did you continue watching her after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks. And a body hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
He's setting it up for you.
How'd you see all this? The bruises that she was beaten?
I'm not blind, am I?
He must have
Fuck!
climbed to the roof, maybe.
Actually, can I, like, redo that? I had, like, such a good thing. Oh, but I've been going so... Man, how did you get close enough to see your bruises?
I have my ways.
You've been through the secret route behind the whirling rags. Those were your footprints. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
Thank God, the lieutenant is picking it up.
Yeah.
That Nook too?
Yes, that too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union box window.
You wanted to punish her, so you killed him.
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
You stare at them too. In your mind, her innocence day still turns to leaf. Airport bag in hand, silks flowing in her wake.
The dream.
See you tomorrow, Harry. Her voice rings in the evening air. Burning.
Men are insane. What would this Harry then? Saw through her. Why did he see through her though? Not really. Doesn't say anything.
Old man raises his gaze. Something glimmers in the corner of his black eye. A bitter taste on his tongue.
You had feelings for that woman.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. In this fight, it helps if you have your eye on something there. It's weakness, I know.
Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of her room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells.
Yes. I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
It's as if something put the thought there to leave the flowers.
Something put the thought in you. A compulsion.
What do you mean, put?
A brief flash of terror.
I've just got this feeling from what you said. Do you agree?
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you.
A sudden pang of rage.
If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. One more down.
So in conclusion, it wasn't about him. It was about her. Why is this whole thing about her? God damn.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she, that Clasier? I haven't seen her there for days.
She got away, we don't know. She got away, but she let us here first. Figured out someone was watching her from the seafort.
Gone. I knew it. She kept staring into the scope this last week at the island, like she knew. She'd look at night, crying or smoking on the roof, staring right into me. It doesn't matter.
Midtown, across the Bay of Elysium, the oceanic wind washes 40-story towers. Above them, Lucerne Central Aerodrome, a cocoon suspended in the sky by a web of suspension wiring, encircled by hybrid aircraft.
Look north.
On the platform, a young woman is withdrawing from amphetamines, barbiturates, and alcohol. Yet still she smiles among the crowd, among the great ghosts of the city she's leaving for another, far south.
So she had the tickets, probably.
Smaller, distant, hidden, not like the great chandelier she sees sparkle in the night below her. Streetlights, towers, tenements and water, and across it a dark strip of ruins, barely visible if she didn't squint her eyes. There, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. The ruins of a sea fort stick out of the water, built by Philippe II, reappropriated by the Commune, then lost in the landing. He's there, doing what exactly I don't know. Satellite Officer Vicmair points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstein is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place where, as the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this. The old man has fallen silent, staring at your feet. The burnt logs in the fire are moist from the sea air.
Should I tell him that Renee died? Hold on.
The old man stares despondently
Ooh,
at
awkward.
the logs. It's like he's forgotten you're there. His lip curls into a sneer at the memory.
About that Renee.
Yes. Where is he?
Oh my God. He's even worried for him.
Renee's dead. He died of old age a couple days ago.
No.
Yeah.
I waited too long. I waited too long and now he's dead?
I'm sorry, Mr. Dross. I understand you knew him for a long time.
They're all dead now. Fuck it.
If he really wanted to kill him so bad, he would have done. There must have been 1,000 black days on these islands. His health ailing.
He had 1,000 chances to kill him.
And I blew them. What does it matter now? He's gone. Ancient dust.
He reminded him of himself. The same hatred. The same. You tried to think of something else. But no. It's just hatred.
I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
You okay?
You think I haven't seen people die? It's all I've seen them do. Fuck and die. All the other plans we had. To love. To colonize the Pale. It's all fucked.
He's not okay. This is just another black day. In a row of black days.
Glad
Okay.
we talked about what?
Well, he's under arrest now.
What? But you said I would be taken to the...
This terror is the sum of all the uncontrollable movements and mood swings he's been exhibiting.
Take him to the what?
The wind picks up. The silence on the water is broken all around you. Little shivers of waves appear. The lieutenant continues, like an incantation.
Your Wayfarer rights have been suspended. Information provided to the officers on the scene will be used against you by the prosecution. You will be given legal counsel within 1 week and must face court in 44 days. Do you understand? Do you understand?
And I thought he was ready to rot in a cell.
But...
Kimmy's afraid.
No, I don't want to. I have to stay here.
He's sweating. Beads are forming on his forehead. Pupils are dilated too. Eyes getting blacker and blacker.
Your confirmation is not required, sir. Now on to the boat.
First aid doesn't have room for 3.
You thought
Damn.
you heard something, but it's just the reeds.
Damn it.
Maybe we could all fit in there.
We could all fit in the little boat?
Actually, no.
First aid doesn't have room
Not
for 3.
really. We could escort him to the pier, then either one of us can take him inland while the other stays here. But
But then, who watches him while you're coming back here.
Who watches him while I come back for
You
you?
come back for me? How about I go and send a boat back for you?
What is this farce? This is a fucking farce. I can't.
Lillian, you could ask her maybe.
Maybe I could just ask that nutpicker to watch him?
This is no harmless old man.
This fucking world. This world. What is this?
No, listen. Listen now.
Oh my god. You could have come back for me once I've taken him. I would come back for you once I've taken him to you come back for me.
No,
Yeah.
no, it would take a whole day on this island. You go and transport the prisoner. I'll be here. I can escort him to the pier with you.
Maybe you're right.
This world. What are you talking about? Is this us?
Your skin is crawling suddenly.
You gonna just drop? Is that the fucking Phasmid? What the fuck?
A delicate tangle of arms and legs unfolds from the reeds, limb by limb. To then
What?
just stand there, moving its scythe-like arms in ghostly silence.
What is that?
What are you talking about?
The giant stick insect.
There's nothing there.
The stick insect is over 3 meters tall. It looks straight at you with its tiny pinprick eyes and its grotesquely small head. You feel your legs shaking under you and your gun hand move to your holster to grab the gun.
There is. I see it.
Tell me what you see, damn it. I can't make out one small thing in the reeds.
Kim, can you see it?
I can see it.
Oh shit.
4 simple words. Thank God. If he can see, then you're not insane. But that means it's really there, spinning slowly, in absolute silence. Its limbs long and slender.
Be very, very careful.
Okay, we're gonna make a new save.
The creature stands on long stilt-like legs, antennae hanging from its head like a woman's hair, white and curled at the tips. It is no more than 5 steps away from you. The segmented antennae move with apprehension, searching for something that's not there. Reed-like tufts stick out of its joints.
Shit.
As the insect moves its forearms, it produces a faint hiss, like a reel-to-reel machine spinning after the tape breaks.
The Icelandic Phasmid.
It is.
You glance over your shoulder. The lieutenant holds a piece of milled aluminium. He begins to pull it open extremely carefully. It's the camera.
Are you sure you won't scare it off?
We need a photo. No one will believe us.
From the corner of your eye, you see a sudden cascade of motion ripple through the Phasmid's limbs. A series of ultrasonic clicks fills your ear. I am not palatable. Do not eat me. I am afraid.
Okay, what if we take the picture?
With the sound of metal sliding against metal, you see the Phasmid turn to him, its mandible antennae reaching out. The motions are quick, sudden.
The ampoule will produce a loud hiss. You're right. It could scare it away. I need a better moment when it's not looking.
I'll wait. I'm on standby, he thinks. The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you, its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slowly.
Don't be afraid.
Nothing changes in the cyclical. Its insect mind is impenetrable to your reasoning.
Okay, what if
We
we...
can't just leave it standing there.
You've never seen him get this excited.
Okay, hold on. Let's load. Okay. Jesus. We need electrochemistry? We leveled up so much though. I know we have electrochemistry stuff. I've been largely ignoring it because they fucking just tell me to do drugs all the time. Okay. This is a jacket, right? I can't believe this is one of the things that ends up being real. Like, he was like, not everything is important. Fucking everything kind of became important. That's fucked up. I mean, technically, is this important? Who knows, man? I'm just kind of blown away by the fact that this is here at all. Mission speed. No, we need the savoir-faire. Weird. Tied around the crotch. God ass. Okay. Okay, let's... Do we have... We don't have any speed! Motoric psyche. God damn it. Well. Oh yeah, we let Kim take some of it. No, well, not like take it, but like take it away. We'll save over where we just were.
The creatures, the segmented read like tufts.
It is.
Tries to take a picture. Cheryl scared off.
From the corner, I am not
That's
panicking.
afraid.
I won't be one of those fools, would it?
You see the phasmid turn to him. Its mandible antennae reaching out. Its motions are quick, sudden.
Just listen to me.
Shh. Okay.
The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you. Its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slowly.
Hey.
The creature tilts its tiny head. There is a sadness in there. Or is it in you? From the dream.
I
It's
don't
still
know.
with you. The pitiful
Damn it.
you told her. Even now. You barely get to take one step.
Where? Where did it go?
You never had a chance. There was something off the moment you approached it.
Taking the pheromone from Morel. Do I actually have that? I totally... Or did it... Was this one of those things where I just didn't take it because I was like, that's weird? Wait, is it gone now? Ah!
The creature stands.
Oh no, it's
on
a...
long stilt-like.
Okay, so it is there. I just can't see it for some reason. Yeah, I can still interact with it. That's fucking weird. I don't think... Yeah, no, I don't have the fucking pheromone. Well, I mean, that was a choice I fucking made. So it goes. I don't have any speed. I don't have
The
anything.
creature the segment read like tufts.
It is.
You glance.
Sure, we're scared off.
From the I am not palatable.
It's afraid.
I won't be one of...
You see the phasmid turn to
Understood.
the spindly mechanism turns itself back to you.
You
A
exist.
sudden chirrup. It moves just an inch closer to you. Or does it only feel like it does? Something in its body language has changed. Just slightly.
It is.
Okay, let's see if we can take a
You
picture of it.
glance.
We need a photo.
From the corner, I am not palatable. Do not.
Okay, take the
With
picture.
sound of you see the phasmid turn.
The ampoule will produce...
I'll wait. I'm on the spindly mechanism
Damn it.
turns itself back to you. Its antennae taking their measure of the air. Slowly.
Ah, we can't. Yeah, we don't get to see it leave. It just didn't. Man. Actually, what do what if we dump everything in electrochemistry? Ooh, I got stuck somewhere. Oh no. Oh, I can't even like press escape. Oh, we are stuck. We're hella stuck. Hold on, we gotta restart. Which was okay, because I was gonna see if I could dump everything in electrochemistry. Isn't the tie... No, the tie is Inland Empire. I thought we had an electrochemistry tie. Okay, it is still there. Okay, we'll try. I swear to God. No, we didn't. Hmm. I'm surprised we're not getting...
The segments read like tufts.
It is.
At least Kim's at the ready.
We need a foot.
From the corner, I am not palatable. Do not. With the sound, you see the phas.
The ampoule will.
I'll wait. The spindly mechanism turns itself back to you. Its antennae taking their measure of the air.
You
A
exist.
sudden chirrup. It moves just something in its body language has changed. Just slightly.
Come on. Trying to catch this Pokemon.
You barely get to take one step. The invertebrate reacts with uncanny speed.
God damn it.
Skating away across the water. It's gone, like a skipping stone, leaving nothing but rings on the sea's calm mirror.
Where? Where did it go?
You never had a chance. There was something off the moment you approached it. It was scared of you. Of humans.
Damn, should have taken the
I
pheromone.
don't think it had anything to do with the Osprey. It was just scared.
There is uncertainty in his phrasing.
He didn't even think it existed, so how would he know?
Definitely had something to do with the Osprey. It was repelled by you, as if it was scared.
Okay, yes, you're probably
Am
right.
I don't know. I'm not an entomologist. Neither was the parascientist. The only thing I'm sure of is we saw it. It was real.
Where did it go? Can you see it?
No, it's gone for now, Lieutenant Freighter.
How did it do that? Glide.
It appears the insect can walk on water, like a water strider, you know? It's almost as fast. Uncanny.
Tell me you got the picture.
He shakes his head in silence, an expression on his face
You
that you've
didn't?
never seen there before.
You didn't get the picture?
No.
However hard you squint, you can't
Ah.
make out anything recognizable, let alone a stick insect.
I tried, but it was moving too fast, and I didn't get the ampoule in right. And damn it, I believe my eyes. It was there.
No.
Your voice echoes on the water
What now?
What now?
in some kind of strange, semi-catatonic state.
Our suspect's not looking so good. We should check him over. Also, it looks like it has some kind of nest there. Maybe there's proof in there.
In the reeds, where the phasmid was hiding, you see a little flash of white. Porcelain white.
Oh, what's this now?
Wasteland of reality. Congrats, you're sober. It will take a while for your body to remember how to metabolize anything that isn't sugar from alcohol. So you're going to be pretty ravenous soon. Eat plenty. You can expect your coordination and balance to improve in a couple of weeks. In 2 months, you might start sleeping like a normal person. Full recovery will take years though. It'll be depressing, and it'll be boring. Don't expect any further rewards or hand claps. This is how normal people are all the time.
Well. Ooh, damn. +1 psyche, returning to the cell, no positive effects from the alcohol. Oh, well, I stopped using it anyway. Sober, boring, plus L plus ratio. Well, what was this one? What was this one? Plus 20% Zuno. Inspect the phasmid. Check up on the deserter now. Okay, we'll new save this one. What's this? Claudia's passport. Huh. Fair weather. Oh, huh. Here's a helmet. And scope. What we got in here? Rifle scope. Common 30mm sniper scope attachable to almost any bolt action 4.46 caliber. Used an older style non-dotted range-finding reticle. Seaweed is still stuck on the lens and suffered water damage from its time in the phasmid's dowry. Huh. Claudia's passport. This is a well-traveled passport with visa stamped in it. It is issued by the Republic of Aranya. He found it in the phasmid's nest on the island. You can open it for more details.
This
Ooh.
passport, issued by the Sovereign Republic of Oranje, is issued to a black-haired woman called Katarzyna Alazie.
I remember.
Clausia's hidden documents from the MT boy.
The photo.
It's Clausia, with short black hair and glasses. She looks boyish, younger somehow. An old photo, before life came and did what it does.
Huh. What is it doing in the phasmid's nest?
Maybe our man, Mr. Dross, took it from Clausia's, or whatever her name was. Hiding place, or
I think the phasmid took it.
like a magpie? What a coincidence. Then it would also have collected the other objects, which would be highly unusual. I can see how the helmet could wash up on the island. And the scope. Maybe Mr. Dross lost it. But to seek this out would be very unusual behavior for an arthropod.
Would it? Maybe it was simply curious.
Perhaps it was curious, like an octopus?
An octopus belongs to a very different class. It's not even an insect, it's a mollusk. But yes, I see your point.
It says Katarzyna Alazie.
She said it would be for Anouk Meyer-Smith. Anouk Meyer-Smith.
Huh.
Katarzyna Alazie was supposed to be her real name, where Clausia comes from. Remember? God damn it.
Huh.
I told you she kept lying to you. She's probably lying to someone else right now, in another city.
Maybe this is her real passport? Not a fake, because this is her real name?
No, she lied to us.
Dang.
Her so-called real name was not her real name. Somehow she's managed to lie to us about that too.
Wonder what her real name is then.
I don't know. But it's not Katarzyna Alazie, or Clausia, or Anouk Meyer-Smith. We didn't even scratch the surface with her, detective.
Dang.
Perhaps it's better that we didn't arrest her. Who knows what hell she'd be raising in my district by now.
The winds are silent. The streets are empty of her. She is no longer in the city of Revachol.
Dang. Well. Yeah, we got this. Fairweather T2500 helmet. Half-light head as a battering ram. Fighter, not a lover. This monstrous-looking bug-eyed ceramic helmet was in the phasmid's nest. He saw some reeds sticking out of it. It smells of seawater, but it's otherwise wearable, if not exactly comfortable. Putting it on feels scary somehow. Yeah, it does look scary. No, I'm surprised it didn't do anything when I put it on. What if I put like enough stuff? Hold on. Look at me. I'm the Terminator. No, we're gonna go back to what were we wearing before? I don't know. Sure. Anyway. Are you okay?
What is it? What do you want from me? I can't go.
Something is very wrong with him now.
Sir, how can you not see the phasmid?
Mr. Dross?
The man does not respond. He keeps staring, black eyes glazed over and bulging from their sockets. His gap-toothed mouth shaking, with fear and longing, like an addict of some terrible substance.
Pale? Snap your fingers under his
A
nose.
light shiver passes him, followed by nothing. His hands are trembling, and he breathes slowly.
He's going into some kind of psychomotor immobility. The good news is, this solves our transportation problem, doesn't it, Mr. Dross?
The trembling mouth appears to sigh.
Between this and the broken tire he's used for a boat, I think it's safe to leave him here, while we go and get help. It will need to be medical first, I'm afraid.
What has happened to this man?
Old age and shock.
Old age, and I think it's the Phasmid.
Yes, the arrest and the appearance of the Phasmid, the combined stress. But you think it's something more than that, don't you?
Quite a few things about that health check you did on him make sense now.
Before when get to that thing. Before when I validated his state, he seemed strangely animated.
He was energetic and articulate. After all these years alone, with little hygiene or medication, I would expect worse.
Perhaps this animation is induced by something in the Phasmid?
It does not seem to be animated now it's left. Honestly, I'm ready to believe anything at this point. Maybe it is psychoactive.
Damn.
I mean, why not? It's 3 meters tall.
You couldn't see it, Kim. It's just the reeds for him.
It could be part of the shock. But you're right, something is off here. Mr. Dross,
No response.
Maybe this is how the Phasmid has stayed hidden all these years?
then how did we see it? Oh, you mean, whatever does this, does it over time? Teenagers, kids, drunks, sightings are brief, and hence not credible. But anyone who spends a long time with it.
Yes, you forget it's there.
Mr. Dross, have you ever seen a stick insect pretending to be the reeds? The doctors will have to look at this. I hope your station has better medical personnel than 57. This is a little advanced for a nurse.
I think he's addicted to that thing.
Like a drug?
He's a symptoms of an addict and not the normal symptoms.
His pupils appear to be dilated. They still are.
It's not just chemical.
It's as if he's infatuated with it.
Some kind of oxytocin release mechanism? Would go with the pupils. But this is way above me, detective.
He's been here for a long time. Who knows how much of it is in his
He
company?
did seem distressed when it finally came to arresting him. Like he didn't want to leave this place. And the insect, maybe. I have absolutely forgotten to take notes. I hope I remember all of this.
Kim, man.
This will be one hell of a report. They'll think we're insane.
You will have to be very convincing and very sober to make them believe, sire.
Oi. We found some things in the Phasmid's nest, Mr. Dross.
He stares into the reeds. Your words don't stir anything in him. Perhaps you should.
Showing the detached scope.
I lost.
You lost it, Mr. Dross?
He turns his eyes to the reeds again, as he's done so many times. Beige and white stripes.
He lost the scope. Then it somehow made its way over there. With the help of a magpie phasmid. This sight is a T9, Mr. Dross. Was it attached to the rifle when you made the shot?
Silence. Not even a sigh.
Man.
You've gotten all you will out of this poor being.
Oh, hold on.
He lost this sight is a T9.
Silent. You've gotten all
Or needs
no
password.
reaction. His breathing is slow, and he appears very old all of a sudden. Around 80. This is an old man, at last. No longer a tin soldier, but the broken down remains of a man.
Did you take this passport and other papers from a boy on the coast?
The spirits.
He hears us. The spirit?
No reply. He's gone again.
Try something else? We got him back for a moment.
Nothing. Just dull staring. Not even rage left, wherever he is. The last embers have gone out. The war is over.
If Kuno kicked it into the sea, as he said he did, the ebb would put it back here. This makes sense. Mr. Dross could have picked it up. Or the Phasmid even. If it did, this is incredible.
I'm gonna let you rest now, Mr.
The
Dross.
plastic cape flaps around his face in a gust of wind. His back is slouched and his mouth open. The blacks of his eyes are receding. His pupils are returning to normal. The strength has all gone out of him. Just frail old bones in a sack of tracksuit trousers and a windbreaker.
Hang tight.
We should think about getting back to the mainland. To get help. He'll be safe here. If we don't take too long.
The old man still.
Yep. God damn. That's fucked up. Of all the things to happen in this goddamn game. I can't even really believe it. Of all the goddamn things. It ended up just being some guy, and then turns out the Phasmid was there.
The skiff is swaying on the way.
Let's return to the mainland.
We're done here.
Jeez.
The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet, but for the sound of conversation on the water, there is someone inland waiting for you.
It's my boys.
2 men and a woman stand on the concrete square of a nameless village, looking at a small yellow boat as it draws closer. The sea is calm. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff.
So where are they? I don't know what I've been doing here. Harry, we're here because we're worried.
Look what the tide brought him.
This is the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes, he tilts his head.
Harry, you're bleeding all over the place. You're half dead.
Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen.
No one else seems bothered by the bleeding.
Bothered by it. Harry, you look like you need a fucking organ transplant. Oh, fuck it. Let's not get into that.
Forget about this. There's a giant...
We're not forgetting about anything. Look at you.
Who are you people?
Hello. Trent Heilerstrom. I believe we've met on several occasions.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean-Vic Comar, and this is your special task force. Or what's left of it. Special Consultant Trent Heilerstam, Battle Officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We've come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Prison 57. We've just come from the island, where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
It's like a Wild West showdown.
We might need your help with something later.
As if he recalled that he's in fact a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy. The two aren't mutually exclusive.
It's true.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you gotta have my back. Let's destroy
It's
them.
good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuhagi.
Lieutenant.
Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to perform.
Anyway, what's this about?
Harry, we want to help you. Trent, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science. My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
You're trying to fucking dip.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
What does he have to say for himself? He left you to catch the bullets. Shit, kid. What an interesting Monica.
You're the man with sunglasses at all. You're not even blind. You told me you're not. You even told me you're not the horse-faced woman. Wow. Where have you been all this time? There is a mercenary tribunal.
God damn it, Harry. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. Your detective god. Fuck everything. All we burn. Detect or die.
So you just let me face a squad of trained killers alone to teach me a lesson.
It wasn't like that.
Fuck you, Harry. We didn't know there was gonna be a tribunal, did we?
Why didn't you... No. What? Why didn't you detect or die then?
Oh, you think it was cool you saying that? Aesthetic somehow? You were crying when we got here. Breaking things. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss. So we fucked off. Like you told us to.
Anyway, so Trant Heidelstein turns out to be Special Consultant Trant Heidelstein.
Yes, I'm Trant Heidelstein. I never said I wasn't Trant Heidelstein.
So what are you special consulting here?
What indeed? I was asked to share my take on some of the more obscure theories developed in Königstein in the 30s, like partial psychotraumatic amnesia, group personality theory.
He's here to see if you're insane. He's smart. Let's move on.
Mentioned a task force.
Yeah, Major Crimes Unit, under Lieutenant Dubois and Vicomar. Ring any bells?
Refresh my memory. Who else is in this?
Refresh your memory? It's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstein, and Guillaume Baby.
I'm technically just a civilian advisor.
Oh, fuck you. You're part of this shit show.
Who's Guillaume Bevy?
Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good. Then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Tron because I'm forcing him to stay.
Okay, so what are they gonna do?
It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We are shit tier now, Harry. Because of you.
They're your posse, or what remains of it. Hand-picked, hand-lost.
The 41st isn't...
How did you know I was here?
The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went.
I saved his establishment and he still betrayed me?
Strange. He didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look safe at all. There was a giant IO graffito in front of the building. It was on fire.
It was this one junior delinquent.
I don't know. It had shit kid written all over it.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
Bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage. Trant, this is where you come in. How bad is it?
Well, he doesn't have visible tremors, he talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning. All good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic.
Meaning, you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, e-solar, hell, and so on.
As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before when Harry did not seem to know who I was. It's all very interesting.
It is kind of interesting because I didn't even have the chance to pretend that I knew who he was or anything.
Interesting.
Yes, interesting. I have my theories, but I would like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, what do you think happened to you? Neurologically, psychologically, and why not socioeconomically?
May have something to do with an anomaly in the church, a 2mm hole in the world.
Corresponding to the 20-centimeter hole in your brain. Sure. This theory has great symmetry. I see how it folds into itself neatly.
Wow.
Precisely, Satellite Officer Vic Mayer. It's Martinez.
Yeah, I take this seriously. I suspect there must have made something wrong with Martinez.
This sounds odd, but I was there. The church on the coast was shaking from an audio-spatial anomaly. It may have been anthroponetic or perhaps related to radio waves. Either way, it was real. I've even put it in my report. You should read it. I do not, however, think it has anything to do with him drinking himself to the point of brain damage.
Hey, man.
Thank you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Just to clarify, I do not think his other anthroponetics are a hoax. Pale produces global phenomena. It's proven. However, what has not been proven is total memory loss after drinking too much Komodo Red. Honestly, I think he's just lying to us.
But Detective Vigmer, he has blanked out before.
I have?
Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural.
Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea, yes. Practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak.
What do you mean?
Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? Look at the sensory input here. Look at the ruins, the neon. Listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. Live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape, to borrow a known metaphor. Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market. He just needed for its end.
What the fuck is he talking about?
Okay, Trent, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the major crimes unit? Is he a crétin now? I want to know that.
He's not a cretin, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective.
He's wrong. I've already gone. Line detective is good for now.
Now, I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the body? Or do we need to get him on a disability pension?
Oh my
You can
god.
keep that pension. You're rock solid. You can put your clothes on hard.
That's such a strange way of phrasing it. What now?
Now nothing. Now we're just going to stand here.
Really?
No. Now we discuss that. What the fuck did you do to a motor carriage? Why is it there, Harry?
Drove it to the ocean when I was drunk.
Ah, so refreshing. He just admits it. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of everyone's payslip. It doesn't matter. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge.
Here.
In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic.
Wow.
The badge slips out of your hand.
How did we, like, fail interfacing? I swear interfacing was good. I don't know. Damn it. We're just looking like a doof.
You juggle the badge. Ouch. You strained.
He found it. He found it, Jean. It's his badge.
And your gun?
As if having your badge and gun are natural states, not achievements.
Here.
He has it. And he didn't drop it. You're drunk like a bum, Harry. Put that thing away before you kill someone.
I'm not even drunk at all right now. I quit drinking forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now.
I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh?
He's wounded. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a week. I'm sorry I smell bad.
A bit of a week? You're drunk, and you let a suspect escape, a certain Clasier, because you were too drunk to assess a flight risk.
We've read the report, Sari. Lieutenant Kitsuhagi's. We know.
Yeah, I let her go as an act of mercy.
Oh, well, if you let her go, I'm not even gonna get into the other suspect who escaped. Another act of mercy, or the fact that you very likely sold your gun for booze. That's peanuts. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 6 people who were gunned down, the streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was fucking mass murder.
He did everything he could. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals.
Here comes the cavalry.
He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been.
I also solved the case. It's solved.
Detective, it's better if I do that.
It's so much better if he does this. 1,000,000 times better.
Fine.
Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation.
He thinks of apologizing, but decides against it.
Well,
You've spent the week with him on this case. What is your take?
On the case?
On Lieutenant Geoffrey Dubois.
Well, the drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge. That's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week.
See?
1 week.
Then there's the superstardom. He likes to, from time to time, allude to being a superstar law official. At first I thought it was a joke, but now I'm not so sure. He says disco about 20 times a day.
'Cause disco is cool, Kim.
It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socio-economist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd.
Kim's just telling on
You
me.
should yell something.
That's not a good idea.
Yes, let's let the big boys talk.
Like, I gave up the communist thing when I met the people. It's so
Other
fine.
still, he is also an ultra-liberal hustler who is always on the grind. How he reconciles these 2 points of view, I do not know. But he is vocal about both of them.
I swear I have not chose that.
And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course. Amphetamine, mostly. But despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I have seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him everything. And he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped pursuing leads, however far-fetched and tangential. He is tireless, madly driven. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke, which, by the way, I have to disagree with you, Mr. Vicmar, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out.
That was just like personal mental health stuff.
Okay, he did something.
Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case, and he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator, locked on the island right now, awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution, who's probably committed other murders over those years. Oh, and he also discovered a new species.
A new species?
A colossal stick insect, 3 meters tall. It's on the island, camouflage as the reed. It unfolded from there. I did not, unfortunately, get a photo, but I believe it may have been the Insulindian phasmid. I know this sounds fantastic, but I'm a 4 times decorated lieutenant of the RCM. I do not make up encounters with cryptids to spice up my day. I am very, very sane.
It would be it's so normal to just say that, but I guess standing beside Harry.
I don't doubt you, Lieutenant. If you say it was the Insulindian phasmid, then it was the Insulindian phasmid.
It was incredible, but it was real.
Lieutenant, is it somehow connected to the case?
Detective?
Yes, I believe the pheromone in emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation.
The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic.
So it is connected.
We could order a search. I could get people from EPIS on the island, entomologists, doctors. There must be signs of it in the reeds. If we found the Insulindian phasmid, well, that would be absolutely exceptional. The PR value alone.
There, you need to make your case now. The floor is all yours. He prepared it well.
We don't know if it's female. I don't know anything about that. The killer, Lilianovich Dross. We have a strong motive for him.
Lilianovich. A revolutionary matronym.
A revolutionary
The
matronym.
custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms. Krasovich, Lasovich, etc. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms, derived from the mother's name instead.
Interesting.
This man's mother was Lilian. His Lilian's son, Lilianovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol.
So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called.
Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. You said you have a motive?
Of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy.
He killed in an act of rage. Killed him in mercy in an act of jealousy.
Jealousy? I thought this Lilianovich was an old man. To have been hiding for 50 years. Like 70-something.
A strange psychosexual fixation, aggravated possibly by proximity to the phasmid and its chemicals. He himself gave a political reason, said he had killed an enemy combatant. Also, we have ballistics from the gun, matching the bullet found in the dead mercenary's head, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to.
It's a clean win.
Oh, it's way more than that.
Way, way.
It's way more. Nope. My masterpiece. Did all they could every second with a struggle. It's a first unfolding mechanism, like the phasmid.
Perfect folding mechanism. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind.
He's such a hater.
God damn it. Doesn't it ever leave? It is there, like in your bones or something. It will pass in time.
Anyway, previous head of the Dead Bars Jr. was also assassinated by our killer.
This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open. In Martinez, where Everard and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere.
Understood, of course.
But a case against Everard would be big.
I would prefer not to partake in anything union-related, for political neutrality.
There was a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person I found.
Fallen through a gap in a boardwalk. Drunk.
How'd you know I found him?
The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff.
Yeah,
You're
that
not the only
sucked.
cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us.
Still, good work with the missing person, detective.
It's still a point for you. No denying it.
Also looking into the mystery of the Doom commercial area. Confis is drug from Kuno's dad.
Who's Kuno?
You don't want to know.
You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. You snorted the drugs.
I mean,
know
I
you
did.
It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink.
And I also fixed the strike situation.
It seems to be ongoing. I see red banners on the gates.
He didn't quite solve it. He cross-pollinated information between the company rep and Everard, until the rep came to see that the Union desires war. At which point Mrs. Messier decided to...
What? Hand clear the terminal.
I just told some people things. No big deal. I masterminded a solution to an unsolvable problem.
Sounds like you got played, Harry. Because you were off your tits on Al Ghul.
Hey, how do you know about Al Ghul?
It doesn't matter how I know about Al Ghul. What matters is, you're Everclear's messenger now. A union man, as he calls it. He's a mob boss, did you know? Is that why you want us to investigate the assassination of the previous union head thing? To get off Everard's hook?
No, it's nothing like that. He was reckless with information, but ethical. We don't owe anyone anything. This allowed us to stabilize things in Martinez.
Such a hater, man.
Calm down, Jean.
Anyway, what do you say? You want to take this hot shit
I
back?
don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude.
Anything that ends the trial is okay with me.
You haven't been drinking, she thinks. So, maybe this time.
Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go.
Okay. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go.
Now you will finally get to know who you are.
Oh wait, I have a few questions about where we go. Before we go. About who I am.
The man looks westward, impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket.
Why am I like this?
It's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over. Also, you were drunk.
Wow.
Really went with it too. Really maximized the damage.
Some chick. Who?
Dora something. Dora England. Yeah, you mentioned the name.
Not Dora Dubois.
So we weren't even married.
No one is married anymore. This is Revachol.
When was this?
God, I don't know. 6 years ago, she was way before my time.
6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you?
6 years?
Or 7. You're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora England really tore you a new one. A big one.
Who was she?
Incredibly bangable.
No, I mean, what did she do?
She was incredibly fuckable.
Oh my
A
god.
beautiful bourgeois woman. Wayfish. Like a Welkin, basically.
Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin.
What the fuck?
Pain Welkin.
I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from.
Look, the sun is going down. It's time to go on.
I think she taught in the Académie des Arts, east of the river. Way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, You need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist. Several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? A forensic psychiatrist?
Forensic
Good luck with
psychiatrist.
that.
In other words, he's heard enough about this.
Who am I?
Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry.
What?
Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but
But before?
Before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Coron. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe...
That does explain a lot.
Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair.
The collection of Fallon sports where I have
The
amassed.
fact that you don't seem to know what homosexuality is.
Also, this guy. Just everything about this guy.
Why did I join the RCM then?
the regular. You found some chick. She inspired you to fight the big fight. Be more than you are. All that.
You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries, and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope.
When was this? When was I a gym teacher?
20s or late 20s. You've really let yourself go since then.
Okay, whatever.
I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher.
Gym teacher. Am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre?
No,
Okay, no, suspect seems to think that.
you're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you.
I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit.
Okay, nice.
They would immediately backpedal out of it.
Then just
Told you
nope
it's not
out.
that bad.
Okay, Precinct 41. What kind of station is it?
Us? We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys. No one likes us.
That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct. You're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station and the district is too big, which is why we need to...
Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the ceiling. It's not good.
Torsten McLean.
Mac the Torso Torsen and Chester McLean. They're not fit to run a wing. Believe me. Things are shaky as it is.
Chest at the torso.
They are damn iconic though. Torsen and McLean.
An iconic duo, I take it.
Yeah, not like us. Two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We are garbage.
And the C Wing is.
God. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force. It was a mistake.
There's also a lot of outside help involved, not only me. Other losers too.
Wow.
He's anything but a loser. Although he would like to be seen as one. It's cooler that way.
And Price
Tony
is.
Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM.
He's one of the most highly regarded men in the force. You're lucky.
Somewhere under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, police captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May.
Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance?
So he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press.
Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear.
What happened? Why did we need to go there?
Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up.
He means it. The RCM and its enemies will not be discussed on this coast.
Okay.
Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of the Union headquarters.
So I work in the bloody murder station.
Okay, it's not the bloody murder station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day.
There, Jean. Was that so hard?
Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Rivershore. Faubourg, technically, but it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us.
The press will blow over. Jamrock is lucky to have you. and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it.
Thank you again, Lieutenant.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi. Well,
Who
yes.
is Lena?
Cryptozoologist. She lives in the Jamrock. She told me about this phasmid.
Well, good luck finding her once we get back.
Yeah.
She and her husband were conducting the search for the phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. I'm sure we'll find them. They should know as soon as possible, even if we didn't get a photo.
She is going to be over the moon. Watch out, or she'll faint.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now?
Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all these. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain.
About what?
Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate.
Distant traffic. A scrap of newspaper drifts by, carried by the wind.
Wanna do that at Station 41?
Talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering.
No, I meant investigate. Come work in Precinct 41.
Work with Price? I'm flattered, but I don't know if I...
Would fit him. And crazy enough. Can take the stress. He doesn't know how to finish the sentence.
Big puppy eyes, Kim.
This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he...
Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered.
I would have to tie things up in GRIH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor.
And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant. Piles that we need to get back to. Mountains, even.
I do like the sound of that.
Turns out we did get Kim. Kim. I'm ready.
Good.
Fuck it, let's go. Tron brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock.
Under the evening sky, the great district turns on its lights. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls inside. Fire traps as far as the eye can see, from Main Street to Precinct 41, atop the motorway, to Boogie Street, disappearing into the rain on the horizon. You close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. On Rue de Saint-Jérôme, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Dawson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstein? No.
No.
Vicmere? Yes. Dubois? Of course. Really? Nick Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Potomny Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in his office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. Minnow? Of course.
Wonderful. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now?
A different colored end. What is this list that they're making? Huh. I guess we'll find out. They're like, leave Trent the fuck alone. Is he coming with us in the car? Are we gonna have this like showdown? Bros. Bros, 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 bros. Jean's a dick, but he does care. Wow, we did it. Man, that was that was a lot. Like, there's no way you can predict the end from the beginning. You just have no reason to think of all that stuff. Does a phasmid show up no matter what? Like, if you just don't talk to the fucking to the what's their names, the cryptozoologists, does that even thing, or like you just look at it be like, yo, what the fuck, and then you can't explain it at all? Like, just some next guy that nobody knew about, left little weird footprints everywhere. Fucking God, I don't know, man. This has been a long thing. But yeah, we've done Disco Elysium. We've solved the case. Turns out we didn't fucking, like, I don't know, completely fuck it up. We found so many things. We got to recruit Kim to 41. We can't leave without Kim. Make puppy eyes at Kim like, Kim, please. Come, please, come with me. What are we doing after this? We are... On Friday, we're gonna be playing We Were Here Forever with Phoenix, so it'll be another dual stream thing. We haven't done one of those in a while, so I'm looking forward to it. Plus, I really wanted to do fucking puzzle games, so there it is, the start of that. I'm gonna leave Monday kind of hanging loose for a while. No big games on Monday. Only short games. Maybe we'll put maybe we'll put Beacon here for a while, but I want to be prepared for when I get my hands on Tears of the Kingdom, because that is coming. That is coming regardless. And then that'll take up all the fucking time. Mikey W. Goodman. Oh, he was the Deserter and the Reptilian Brag. And, oh, okay, I see. Man, Kuno and Victor was the same voice. Tommy and Manana being the same remembers. Ruby and the Instigator. Who's the Instigator? Novelty Dice Maker, Elizabeth the Gardener, Gary the Cryptofascist, Sooner the Program, yeah. Gart. Yeah, everybody else. Easy Leo. Easy Leo and Tiago the same guy? Huh. Rosemary. Who the fuck is Rosemary? Smoker on the Balcony, Titus Hardy. Huh. I kind of wish I paid more attention. Final Cut voice acting by Mikey Goodman. Oh, so much. Narrator, tutorial agent. So much. Ah, there's so many. Idiot Dune Spiral, Man of Waterlock, Jammer Public Library. Oh yeah. Fight Angus. Kim Pizzarabi is his own. Desert is his own. Huh. Wait. Oh, this is going way too fast. Makes sense that Excel is only one person. Trent and former cold miner. I don't know. The pigs, payphone baroness. Wait, there's more stuff here than didn't even really run into. Huh. Noid. It's interesting which things ended up being their own thing, and which people got like multiple voices, which people had like the same voice actor. I don't know. I did see about DJ Mesh. That was like, you just had to have enough of a check at the time, so we just missed it. Like, you could also like miss the fucking light dude. I can't believe we got the light dude, even though we didn't do anything with him, because that was too tough of a fucking of a thing. Man, I wonder how many things are in the little nooks and crannies of this game. God damn. So much credits. But that's just kind of how it is. Chinese localization, that's good. Spanish localization. I mean, this is a very substantial game. I'm not really that surprised. I've been playing this game for a long fucking time. We wrapped up way more loose ends than I thought we would in the end. I thought I'd be like dumb enough to kind of like leave some shit here and there. Like, turns out Everett wasn't really that much. We just realized that like you need to fucking do war. I mean, we would have if I went through with the first time that I got Ruby and then like ended up getting into the firefight and letting Titus Hardy die. I'm kind of glad I went back and did the things that I did. It's much better. I wonder if we can actually get like a bare minimum of fucking casualties. Like, if I managed to get that one like hand-eye coordination check or whatever the fuck it was when that got me shot the actual time. I don't know. I'm gonna be spending so much time on these wikis just to be like, yo, what the fuck? I kind of like Jean as a character being like this guy that gives you a fucking hard time, but then he's like, yeah, okay. And like the fact that he completely acknowledges Kitsuragi, because like every time somebody does not pay attention to Kim or like talks bad about Kim, immediately I'm like, that person's a scumbag. Fucking Everett, Claire, fucking the one racist lorry driver, fucking Gary. I'm just like, fuck that. At least Measurehead didn't really look at or talk to Kim. He only like, you know, shat on me, which was fine. But yeah, every time Kim opened his mouth and said something, he was just like, yes, I'm sorry, Lieutenant. Yes, Lieutenant. And he's like, he's very knowledgeable of how bad it is to be this guy's partner. So it's like, of course. Like, you are valid, and I understand everything that you're trying to do. And I'm so sorry you had to deal with my fucking idiot brother here. You're so smart and valid, Kim, and I'm so glad that he was that kind of thing. French team. Probably wasn't that hard to translate to French, but French trailer. Oh, Julien Champenois, which is Kim Kitsuragi. So many translations. I mean, I guess this is like a very popular game. Special thanks to Community Translation Group for their ideas. Oh, this is just still more. Man, how much are we going? I think we're out of translations at this point. I don't know if there's a thing that we can... No, this is just let it go. I'm fine with that. Sometimes they give you like a speed up, which would be better. Kinda sad that the usual goons aren't here to talk about the end, but you know what? The VODs are there. The VODs are there for whoever wants to see them. And then I put them on YouTube for whoever wants to see them. But you know what? Maybe people don't want to spoil the end. That's fine. I know Notagen will get here eventually, and we'll have that talk. And Discord friend might play this game eventually, and then we'll end up seeing this. Pavel Piekar's Kolniozak. I wonder what decisions they're gonna make. I wonder what vast decisions everybody else can make. Already I heard Notagen had different takes on like various characters. Not wholly different, because like people who are kind of scummy are obviously scummy. But like little bits of forgiveness towards people that I was like, I just don't like that guy. I don't know. Looking forward to that. Hopefully. We're back in various localization. For what though? Disco Waldo. What the hell? How many times through can we go? What are we localizing now? I thought we got over localizing already. PR by Dead Good PR. Happy Elf Total Victory. Are we back to like Zaum, or is this like generally? It's kind of hard to tell. Features lyrics from the song What If? Poem Reflections by R.S. Thomas. Font license. Okay, we're getting to the end. This is totally like bits and New Humans. Welcome. Ah, there's a dog. Playtesters. Special thanks to Brent Lighting Studios. Special thanks is usually the last section. Doc Burford. I thought I said Doc Buford for a second. 2019 Zone. Came out in 2019. Mankind be vigilant. We loved you. And that's fucking it. That's just it. God damn. So we're done. Well, whoever's out there, Thanks for being here. Thanks for chilling. And that's it. And like I said, we're going to do We Were Here Forever on Friday. I got to edit the stream schedule just because I was so busy this past week that I didn't get to. But that's the plan. I'm glad to see that we didn't crash stream this whole time. That's big. That's huge. It'll probably crash when I try to close it, but that's fine as long as I can finish stream. But next week after we do We Were Here, like depending on how long we were here, we might take a couple days. But I'm going to try to do Beacon on Monday. Try to make up for it. Hopefully it doesn't fuck with the keyboard again. I'll just do the same things that I did this time. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a patch update to fix whatever the fuck is in here at that point. We'll see. But yeah, Beacon next Monday. We are here together this coming Friday. And slowly we're just counting down until I get back to Tears of the Kingdom. I feel like I do want to try... We'll see if I get to stream in the middle of the week. If I do, I would like to continue with Final Fantasy XIV, but I don't think I have anything this weekend, so we might do it this weekend as well. I don't know. Because when I get my hands on Tears of the Kingdom, I will not be able to... Well, maybe I will, but it won't be nicer. We'll see what happens. I'll talk about when we get there. And after we do the... What's it called? Fucking... The Itch.io games run, which is only going to be a couple of them. We'll start doing puzzle games in general, and we'll have that running alongside Tears of the Kingdom. And then after that, fucking I don't know. That'll be in the future. Tears of the Kingdom is gonna take us fucking forever because it's a long ass game. Takes everybody forever. But you know what? We'll just do our best. We'll get through it. It'll be fine. And if it ends up being one of those games where I end up like doing a lot of bullshit in the margins, then I'll try to stream it multiple times a week, where we'll have like kind of saving main things for like Monday and then doing collection bullshit in like Wednesdays and weekends and whatever the fuck. But yeah, that's what we'll see there. Anyway, have a good rest of the week. Time to go to bed. Stay cool, stay frosty, and I'll see y'all later. Goodbye.